Hello, Functional Effect family. It's Coach Sarah here, and today I'm bringing you the third habit to hold them, which is building a balance plate. So what I'm going to go through today with you is what building a balance plate looks like, what kind of portion sizes you might be looking for depending on if you're a man or a woman, and how you can easily think about that meal prep process. So first off, what are the components of a balance plate? Well, it looks like this. We're going to be choosing a protein source. So protein can be anything from seafood, poultry, red meat, eggs, Greek yogurt, tempeh, tofu, and there are some other things that fit into that category if you are a vegetarian or vegan. So protein is going to be our first component of that balanced meal. The second component of our balanced meal is going to be what we call a smart carbohydrate. Now, what is a smart carbohydrate? Well, it could be anything from a starchy vegetable to a grain, a whole grain source, to a fruit source. So it could look like anything from sweet potatoes to brown rice to berries. Our third category that we're going to use to build our balanced plate is going to be healthy fats. So when we talk about healthy fats, we're talking about things like oils, like olive oil, avocado oil, nuts, seeds, butter. Grass-fed butter can be a great source of healthy fat, avocado itself, and even forms of higher fat hard cheeses. So we can definitely pull something from that category to build that balanced meal. Then we have a couple categories left. We have our veggies, which are going to include all of the colors of the rainbow and anything that is considered a non-starchy vegetable. So we're going to be leaving things out like potatoes and corn. And then that last part of building your balanced meal is making sure that you have some kind of beverage, which we talked about the importance of water on day one. So if you need a refresher on that, go back to the day one information. So once we've identified what those different categories look like, well, how do we figure out how much to eat of them? Well, I'm going to walk you through that now. So if we base our recommendations off of someone who eats 4 times a day, this is what we're going to be walking you through tonight. So if you eat fewer meals than this, you're going to be splitting up these portions over those number of meals. And you'll understand what I'm saying here in a second. So when we talk about protein, the serving size for a portion of protein is a palm-sized portion. So if I were to look at just my palm without my thumb and my fingers and the same width of my palm, that's going to be the portion size of protein that we would generally look to get if we were a female. And if we are a male, we're going to double that protein portion size over those 4 feedings. So if you eat 3 times a day, you're going to take those 4 portions of protein for me, and I'm going to split those 4 portions over 3 meals. See where I'm going with this? If you eat 5 meals a day, you're going to take those same 4 portions of protein and you're going to split them up over 5 meals a day. So depending on how many meals you eat, you can customize your portion sizes. Your second category of food that we referenced is going to be your smart carbohydrates. So when we talk about the serving size for carbohydrates, it's going to be a cupped handful. So a cupped handful of rice, a cupped handful of berries, a cupped handful of sweet potato, approximately that much. Now, for the ladies, we're going to have 1 cupped handful of carbs over those 4 feedings. So the goal would be, generally speaking, 4 per day. And for men, generally speaking, we're going to double that and we're going to shoot for 8 cupped handfuls a day. So again, if you eat those over 4 meals, that would be 2 handfuls per meal. If you eat less than that, we want to make sure that you're getting that food in over those fewer feedings. Then, when we talk about our healthy fat sources, this sometimes can be one of the more confusing of the categories because a portion of fat is a thumb-sized portion. So what does a thumb-sized portion of fat look like? Well, if you're talking about things like olive oil, you're talking roughly a tablespoon. If you're talking about something like a serving of nuts or seeds, it's going to be roughly an ounce, or the amount that you would fit in the small part of a closed cupped hand. So that's roughly going to be your healthy fat serving. And for women, in each of those 4 feedings, your goal is to get 1 serving of healthy fat. And for my guys, the goal is to get 2 over those 4 feedings. So 4 servings of fat a day for women, 8 servings of fat a day for men, generally speaking. And the last category, vegetables. Vegetables are something that we want to see us getting not just the volume that we need, but we also want to see you get a plethora of different colors, because each different color of vegetables is representative of a different set of nutrients. So getting a variety is really important for a variety of different reasons. So not only do we want to get that variety, but in terms of servings, 1 fist-sized serving is recommended for women during those 4 feedings, and 2 fist-sized servings is recommended as the minimum for my men. So again, somewhere in the ballpark of 4 to 8 servings of vegetables is an ideal ballpark to be shooting for. So depending on who you are, and if you need to add a little bit more volume to your meal, vegetables are going to be your most friendly category to add some more volume to your meal and have some flexibility in how big of a plate you make for yourself. So if you're finding that you're a little bit hungrier on one night, load a little bit more veggies on your plate. If you're finding that you might be a little less hungry, you can take some of those veggies off. But either way, your goal is to shoot for somewhere in the ballpark of 4 to 8 servings a day. So building a balanced plate does not have to look like eating perfectly all holiday long. But if you can think about building a balanced plate with the idea that maybe one of those items might be something like, for instance, if you're at a family get-together and there's a roasted turkey, there's a decadent mashed potato dish, there's a green salad that has nuts and seeds and salad dressing, you can easily create a balanced plate from the portion of turkey or whatever meat's being served, a portion of the salad that includes the nuts, seeds, and potentially an oil-based dressing, and then still giving yourself a balanced portion of the potatoes rather than just simply saying no. So working towards building a balanced plate doesn't mean being perfect with all the food choices, but sometimes it simply means looking at the foods that are on your plate and working on building balance within those. So I hope that this helps you in finding some balance within the holiday season, because I know how difficult it can be when you are faced with lots of amazing choices, and some of those being things that you only get exposed to one time of year. But remember, next year will come, the next holiday will also pass. Have what satisfies you, and then leave the rest for the rest of the party. So I encourage you to use this guide to help you find the balance. And you can find these resources located in the members portal on exercise.com, or you can locate them here in the file section of the members group. Again, it's Coach Sarah, and if you have any questions or concerns about this topic of building a balanced plate, just reach out to me at sarah@functionaleffect.com, and I'll be sure to send you resources and help you out in any way I can. Keep living your best life, and happy holidays.